I have made the perfect capsule travel wardrobe, or at least I think I have. And not only do I think I packed that wardrobe, but I tracked that wardrobe. I tracked what I wore during the entirety of my 2-month trip overseas to see if I maybe have conquered the art of packing for a trip and back it up with data and science. I am a woman in STEM. No, I'm not. And maybe, just maybe, I can help you unpack the secrets to perfectly packing for your next holiday. I do also have to quickly mention, because I was inspired to undertake this little project over the course of my trip because I saw Beep World's 2 videos about her packing a capsule wardrobe for when she went back to her hometown. And it was like a 2-part, very cool video. So shout out to Beep World. So again, because we're in this kind of like STEM kind of professional vibe, I have a little bit of a structure for this video set up, okay? So what we're gonna talk about is first, what was in my capsule wardrobe. Then we're gonna talk about what I actually wore, and that includes most worn and least worn outfits, as well as most worn and least worn individual pieces. What I liked about it and what I didn't like about it and what I would potentially do differently. And then to kind of, you know, bring it all together, some takeaways, key takeaways, okay, key learning. I'm giving like back in my corporate area, okay? Key learnings, key takeaways for this meeting. It's exciting. I'm excited to get into it. But before I really start yapping, I want to say a big thank you to this video sponsor, Viva. I took their boots with me on the trip and they have a super cute range of shoes like these adorable little ballet flats. Hello? But they have just released their new urban sneaker line, which is designed to be super comfortable and practical, but also still cute, which is very much what I look for when it comes to fashion, because we do things and things are made for wearing while we do those things. These shoes feature the hand-free slip fin design, so you can easily slide your little tootsie into the shoe and get going rather than fumble around trying to get them on. This works because there's some engineering wizardry going on with the angle of the entrance to the shoe, so you can just slip them on and get going. Also, if there is one thing that this trip reaffirmed for me, is that I'm a gal who likes to walk, okay? I'm a gal who likes to walk around town. And these have a wraparound heel to provide ankle stability so you can walk all day without fatigue or strain. Plus, these take the comfort up another notch with this little chonk in the shoe, and you know I love a little chonk in the shoe. And this chonk has micro bubbles that provide a lighter and more cushioned foam for a softer walking experience. There's also a couple of other thoughtful features, like the tongue of the shoe integrating with the stretchy upper to give a perfect snug fit, and a slightly wider toe to make sure your tootsies are evenly distributing the pressure. Also, now that I'm back in Australia, I have been getting back into my gym routine, so I can play a little with styling my gym looks with these. I'm showing you the white ones here, but they also have cute statement colors like this candy pink, which I was already like the girl at the gym with like the pink water bottle and the pink towel, but now it's like I'm definitely the girl with the pink gym stuff. So if you would like to check out some super cute shoes from Viva, you can click the link in the description box down below, or you can use my code LucyViva to save when you shop. And thank you again to Viva for being a long-term supporter of both my feet, but also the channel, and let's get back into it. First up, let's take inventory, okay, and see what I actually took with me on the trip. Now, I do have a recent video that went up, which is a pack with me of what I actually packed on the trip, and the majority of the things that I took on that trip are in that video. So if you want a little bit more in-depth info about each individual piece, I have all of that in that video. So if you want that, then go watch that and then come back. But I will put some more information in the description box about each individual item because I don't want to like info dump too hard, okay? So it's like, citation, you can see below what the details of each individual item are. So what I took with me, I took 2 plain t-shirts, 1 gray and 1 white. I took 3 long sleeve tops, all from Everlane, and they are all white. Very similar, but different necklines. Then in terms of tops that I didn't actually include in my pack with me video, but I did end up taking them and they were worth taking. 1 cropped graphic t-shirt, 1 cropped tank top, and 1 white linen shirt. And then for bottoms, I have 1 pair of jeans, 1 pair of like comfy corduroy looking pants. They're like yassified track pants, kind of. 1 pair of plaid pants, 1 silk skirt. And I did talk about this dilemma when I was packing, but I did feel like I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this because I wasn't sure if it was going to be useful or not. So we'll see in this video if it was actually worth bringing. 2 turtleneck kind of wool blend jumpers, 1 in pink, 1 in blue. They're very similar looking. 2 what I would describe as being more like statement-y pieces of outerwear. So 1 was like a multicolored knit zip up, and then the other one was like a blue cardigan with a faux fur collar. And then 2 pairs of shoes, a kind of like lifestyle runner type shoe, and a pair of gray heeled ankle boots, 1 crossbody bag, a scarf, and a couple of berets and hairbands. I'm including those because I feel like they're more like items that are very noticeable in an outfit. I did also take some jewelry and like other little hair accessories with me, but I'm broadly focusing on like the clothes, the noticeable outfit items, you know what I mean? Let's talk about the outfits. So over the course of this 2-month trip, I wore 36 different outfits, which sounds like a lot. And I will say I included different accessory combinations as different outfits because like they sort of look like different outfits. So, you know, wearing it with like a scarf and a beret versus like a hairband, I feel like they look different enough to be constituted as like different looks. But I'm also going to go through the amount of wear for each individual piece, so you kind of have like that to look at as well when we're going forward. I really didn't think doing data analysis at university would manifest in this way, but I'm kind of into it. So my single most worn outfit across the whole trip was this one, which I wore 8 times across the 2 months we were away. And an additional 1 time if you include this variation of the outfit, which is exactly the same but just with a headband, which again, because of how I decided to go about things, is technically listed as another outfit. 8 times doesn't seem like a lot on this trip, but you need to consider the fact that for the first, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, it probably wasn't cold enough to wear this outfit. So this outfit was worn 8 times over the course of maybe like 5 to 6 weeks, as opposed to like the full 8. I just love this outfit. I feel like this outfit is the perfect representation of kind of like my ideal outfit for this trip, which is comfortable and practical, but still, I feel, very cute. And especially with the zip up jacket, it provided a lot of versatility for kind of the mix and match in weather. Then our next most worn outfit clocked in at 5 times throughout the trip, which was this one here that I recall mostly wearing in Italy right at the end of the trip and in Mexico City sort of in the middle of the trip. Again, we're seeing a bit of a theme here. It's simple, comfy but cute, and again, having that versatility, you can kind of wear it on its own for sort of more temperate weather and layer it up with some thermals underneath for slightly cooler weather. Then surprisingly, the bronze medal goes to this outfit, which I did not expect, but I actually wore it 4 times on the trip, and it is the one with the silk skirt, which I nearly didn't take because I was like, is it silly to take a silk skirt on a trip? It feels like not as practical as the other elements. Well, haha, look who's laughing now. Me to myself multiple months ago. I don't know who this is like a gotcha to, but the silk skirt paired with the baby tee. I'm actually wearing the same like t-shirt but in a pink color. It's from Uniqlo. They're the best. If you just are looking for like a basic baby tee, highly recommend. But then I also layered it with this pink jumper, which is like a very tonally similar color to the pink skirt. And this was actually inspired from a Pinterest picture that I saw because I am like kind of sort of getting into Pinterest now. But I ended up wearing this outfit out for dinner a few different times. We didn't go out for like kind of fancy food a lot on this trip, but there were a few occasions, and this is literally why I wanted to pack it. I could keep the jumper on for kind of like a full look. I could take it off if it was a little bit warmer and like drape it over my shoulders. I kind of like that too. If I was like styling this sort of look at home where I have like all of my stuff at full disposal, I'd probably make like a few little tweaks. But again, in terms of thinking travel, thinking utilitarian, I really like this outfit, and I'm so glad that I brought the skirt. It's solidified as a good decision. That outfit actually also technically tied for the 3rd place spot with a couple of other ones because I was absolutely outfit repeating. Kind of from here on down, it's kind of like all, you know, worn 2, 3, 4 times. So this one with the cropped t-shirt and jeans was worn a lot in Mexico. Then this one with the linen shirt, that was a last minute addition to my suitcase. Came in so handy. I'm so glad I brought it. Then this other one, which is also worn 4 times, and as you can see, it doesn't have any like accessories or anything, was my travel outfit. Basically the outfit anytime that I went on like a plane or a bus. I would actually say maybe this outfit technically ranked higher because I also wore this exact combo with additional layers when I was traveling. But I will also say I didn't really wear this specific outfit outside of like the travel days, which is interesting, but I think does make a case for like some type of like loungewear / comfy outfit. So those were my most worn outfits. Least worn outfits was harder to discern. There are a couple of outfits that were only worn like 1 time, but like materially look very the same as another outfit because I also wanted to track like the wear of each individual item to see if I had like a preference for one over the other. But that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to bring 4 outerwear options. It's not a perfect science, but when you look again at my most worn outfit, you have to realize that I wore this exact combination that many times. And I did not purchase or add in any new clothes that I got on the trip. The only time I think I wore something new was on the flight home. So I purely, throughout this experiment, was wearing just the things that I had initially packed and brought with me. So again, there's a lot of outfits that I wore like once, but I think it's better to look at individual pieces. So let's look at individual pieces. We're loving the data. Crickets. So first up, what do we think it's gonna be? That's right, it was my runners, which were worn 71 times. I would actually maybe take 10 off that wear because I have tracked wearing these pre the trip. So I would say it's actually like 60 times for the runners because I did wear my boots a few times, which actually, if we're making that adjustment, would put my silver Kipling bag in at number 1 with 66 wears. And I know that that is correct because I got it for the trip and I didn't start using it until I went on the trip. So I did wear it 66 times throughout the trip. I was there for 2 months. And you might be like, isn't 2 months kind of like 62 days maximum? And you'll be correct, but you have to keep in mind that also sometimes one day would contain multiple outfits. So if I wore like one outfit to go out during the day for an excursion and then like changed for the evening, then technically in that day I would have 2 outfits and this bag would be in both of them. I literally only took this one bag with me and I'm a bag lady. So like committing to one bag is like kind of a big deal. Have to reapply my lip color because I'm like vigorously yapping. This bag was honestly perfect for travel. Okay, it was very fit for purpose. The wide shoulder strap meant that it was very comfortable to carry like all day. Like it has a little bit of like a Mary Poppins kind of thing going on. Also, I really liked the silver color because it kind of just matched with everything. I will say there were a couple of times where I kind of missed having like a slightly more formal type of bag. Like it does lean a bit more on that casual side of things, which was absolutely fine for the most part. But there were a few times where I was like, oh, I wish I had that like one handbag that I know that I have. But I really only needed to bring that one bag. It was basically perfect. So if you were looking for like a travel crossbody bag that's practical, but still like a little bit on the cuter side, I would 1000% recommend this bag. It was the best. Then next was this pair of jeans, which were by far the most worn pants of the trip. Although again, I did have to deduct some wears because I have worn these jeans outside of the trip and tracked them. So I've had to take a couple off. So it's around 32 wears on this trip for the pair of jeans, which basically means I wore this pair of jeans like every other day. And considering I had 2 other pairs of pants and then also the one skirt, these were by far, you know, the most worn pair of pants on the trip. And also, fun update on those jeans, they currently have holes in the thighs because I wore them so much and we were walking so much. So I need to get them repaired ASAP because I do really love those jeans and I want to wear them more. They are the Lee high baggies if anyone is interested. They just drape really nicely. They're nice and roomy in the hips and the kind of thigh area. Also, I got them on Depop for $20. So the cost per wear is currently down to like 50 cents, which is so good. Then everything else was kind of worn like a similar amount of times, like between 15 to 20 was kind of like the average in the data set. And I would describe that as being on like a pretty regular rotation. In terms of my least worn items from the trip, naturally it is my accessories. I'm glad I took them because I really liked the outfits where I did wear them, but honestly sometimes I would just forget to put them on before leaving for the day. And also I had like a little pair of just like gloves for keeping warm and I lost them like the first day we were in New York. So I think I got kind of like paranoid to not bring like extra accessories with me because if I didn't put them like into my bag, I would lose them. But I do really like the outfits where I did wear the accessories that I intended to bring and wear with those outfits. And it didn't really take up any extra space or weight in my luggage. So I'm gonna call it a win. Also to note, a lot of the time, whether it was just because it was windy outside or just because I wanted to have my hair up and away from my face, I wouldn't wear a hair accessory with that because I'd have my hair in like a ponytail or in like a little claw clip or something like that. So I don't know, extra qualitative data for you. But also for clothes, the least worn items were still worn 5 times each. And that was my pink skirt, which is funny because it was also in one of the most worn outfit combinations. So I like didn't wear it that much, but I also did just specifically wear it in that combination. And then the blue faux fur collar cardigan, which I got off Depop. This cardigan was also like sort of a Pinterest inspired peg. I'd seen a few pictures with people styling this kind of cardigan with like jeans and sneakers. So this being like the statement sort of piece in an otherwise very like casual, comfy outfit. But I guess again, in saying that, it is a little bit more extra. It's a little bit more statement. And I guess I just didn't want to wear that like every day. I only wanted to wear it for specific occasions. But again, when I did wear it for those specific occasions, I really liked the way it looked and I felt good in it. And I'm kind of like, If it's like a statement piece that you want to wear for like specific occasions, provided you do wear it when those specific occasions come up, I think it's fine to include them in your luggage. Depends on how strict you're being, depends on how limited you are, but so I was very conscious of that, and I was like, I really want to make sure that the things I bring on this trip, you know, I have to like lug it around for 2 months. So if I'm going to bring something with me, I really want it to be something I'm going to wear, and I'm happy to report everything was worn. So now, as for what I would do differently, I actually don't broadly think that I would do anything differently. I think I kind of nailed it. Genuinely, I was so happy and satisfied with the packing. I was away for 2 months, okay, across multiple climates. The only thing I will say was that I felt like this was kind of like an interesting test or like trial to see if I would enjoy something more like a capsule wardrobe format in my day-to-day life. And honestly, after the 2 months, I don't know if I would, which sounds kind of weird because I'm like obviously very like feeling positive and happy about this whole capsule wardrobe for the trip experience, because I do really like the way it served the purpose that I had, which was, you know, to live out of a suitcase for 2 months. But it definitely did reaffirm to me that I like playing with fashion and I like having those options and kind of playing around with different sort of pieces and vibes. I was very much wearing like one kind of main outfit silhouette for the majority of the trip. So while I very much had like fun playing within the constraints of like what outfits I can make within like, you know, the few pieces I brought with me, there were a few situations where I found myself like thinking of specific pieces in my wardrobe being like, oh, that would be perfect for this, or like, oh, this would be like such a good vibe for this, you know what I mean? Because that's why I kind of do the whole thing, because I think it's fun and I enjoy it. Like I mentioned with like the handbag, there were a few times where I was like, oh, I wish I had this bag, because it would be like, I don't know, the vibe, I guess. But in saying that, I have continued tracking what I've been wearing because I actually do find it really rewarding and like nice to kind of see, you know, what I'm wearing in my closet and how many times I've worn it and stuff like that. It's very satisfying to kind of, you know, rewear and really feel like you're enjoying the clothes that you have. I've talked about this sentiment in some of my wardrobe declutters and closet clear outs, but like I like wearing the things that I like and I have. Like I like enjoying the clothes that I have. Okay, so now on to like recommendations, okay? What should you do if you would like to have the perfect capsule wardrobe for travels or a trip or a holiday or whatever? Okay, first of all, my number one thing is I would think practically first, and then you can work backwards to like the fun stuff. If it doesn't work for your trip, okay, whatever kind of trip it is, you kind of have two options. You're either gonna not wear it and then you'll be sad that you brought something that you didn't wear, or you will wear it, and because it doesn't work for your trip, that will also make you sad, okay? Maybe you'll be uncomfortable or it's not suited for the climate or whatever. Because as I was kind of reflecting, okay, I was like sitting back looking at all the pictures of everything I brought. I feel like everything I took on this trip had some sort of, at least one, if not multiple, like reasons or purposes for getting into the suitcase. And while there can be overlap in those reasons, each piece does need to justify being in the suitcase or the backpack or whatever. For example, if you went on a shorter trip than I did, or you were in like a bit of a different climate, you probably wouldn't need as many tops that I took with me on the trip. You generally need to wash tops more than pants. And I knew that at some points I might not necessarily have access to laundry, and so I wanted to have multiple tops for that reason. But then even within my pants, they are three kind of similar silhouette, sort of slightly different vibe, but mostly interchangeable pairs of pants. But the plaid pair of pants was actually like a lighter weight type of fabric, and I kind of realized on the trip that it was really useful for when we had some rainy days, because it would dry a lot quicker. So even if I was wearing these pants and we were walking around and I got like wet or occasionally soaked, as soon as we got inside, those pants would dry off quite quickly, and it wasn't like I was sort of like wet and miserable all day, which occasionally if I wore jeans and it was raining really heavily, they kind of stay wet. So it does make you kind of wet and miserable. So that was like another practical aspect, and I'm not going to pretend I knew that before I went on the trip, but then I got on the trip and I was like, oh, so glad I brought these. No, you see, you gotta like fully manifest, okay? When am I wearing this? On like what day, what activity am I doing where I'm gonna wear this? What other pieces that I'm packing with me am I wearing this? Okay, what shoes am I wearing? You need to like see it in the outfit, in your mind, in the place you're going. And even some last minute pieces, again, the lightweight linen top, I wasn't gonna bring it. I didn't have like a vision for how it was going to incorporate into outfits exactly, but I realized I did not have any lightweight sun protection for warmer weather. And I was like, oh, like maybe it can be a beach cover up and I can throw it over a t-shirt for sun protection. You know, not really a grand vision, but still, again, a really good reason. So just generally, I tried to think about what would be comfy and practical for my trip. That was first, and then kind of making it cute or making cute variants of those outfits. And this can also include potentially picking up a couple of pieces to sort of fill in the gaps to give you more variety and options. Specifically for me on this trip, I picked up those 3 white long sleeve tops from Everlane, and that was perfect because all 3 of those different tops could be interchangeable with the different bottoms that I brought with me and the different outerwear that I brought with me. It was all gonna work together. So if you kind of took out the warm weather on the trip, for the colder weather portion, I wore 3 different tops, 3 different bottoms, and then 4 kinds of outerwear. And they all matched my bag and my 2 pair of shoes. Which brings me to another huge recommendation. Highly recommend that you do this. Color palette. Just pick a color palette. Mine was white, gray/silver, pink, and then blue/denim. It just made my life so much easier, okay? Because I have previously gone on trips and I had outfits on those trips that I liked, but there were a few different pieces that just, I couldn't mix them with each other. Like I could, but I didn't want to. It wasn't an outfit that I would put together if I wasn't on the trip and I hadn't, run out of other clean options. And when I was sort of looking at what pieces would, work and be appropriate for this trip, I did have some pieces that I was like, oh, this would work for this trip, but they would require me bringing like some extra accessories or an extra pair of shoes to kind of make them work. And so I just didn't bring them. I had to be ruthless, okay? I was like, no, sorry, you don't fit the color palette for this trip. Maybe next time, buddy. Also, another thing that I did that I feel like was very good and helpful, and I would recommend you do it, but realize it's probably a little bit of an extra step, is I tried on basically all of the outfits before I went. I mainly did it because I wanted to make a cute Instagram reel. Sometimes in your brain, you're like, yeah, that all like works together. I can wear that top with that pair of pants, it's fine. And then sometimes you put them on and you're like, oh, like the crop of that top with like the rise of that pants like doesn't look quite right. And then you have to, reassess. So it's very useful. Highly recommend you do it. And it also can help you identify any gaps. Like if you're putting some different outfits together, sometimes by trying on the different pieces in the different mix and match, you'd be like, oh, this outfit looks really good. If only I had like, XYZ, a white turtleneck, right? You want to give yourself the best opportunity to optimize as much as possible before you leave. Also, you don't only have to take things that you're going to wear super often. If there are a few items that you have in mind that are more like statement, okay, they're like a little bit less versatile, they're not basics. As long as you can like visualize wearing them at some point in the trip, like a particular outfit or a particular place, again, you have a reason for why you want to put it in the suitcase, then they absolutely can be considered for the taking. So just do like a little, cost benefit analysis with the space that you have available. Both those pieces that I wanted to bring weren't really taking up a lot of space and I had space for them. But that was like my decision-making criteria, I guess. I feel like this video is giving a little bit like Always Sunny conspiracy board vibes, when in actuality it's just like planning outfits. But let me know if you want me to put together some type of like spreadsheet or like an ebook, like PDF kind of thing, if that would be more helpful. But hopefully now as the night has fallen and I've been like doing like a sermon on like what I put in my suitcase for my trip, hopefully it was helpful and my kind of reflections and learnings on my travel capsule wardrobe will be of some kind of assistance to you for your planning for your next trip. Or even just in general when it comes to like evaluating the pieces you have in your closet. Have you thought about your pieces in this framework maybe? Maybe that's the homework for the week. This is now a university tutorial / lecture. And a big thank you again to Viva for not only supporting my feet, but supporting the channel. Don't forget to check them out and the discount code in the description box down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.